Psychology of people who constantly worry about their future. Have you ever noticed how some people are never fully relaxed? Even when things are fine, even when nothing is actually wrong, their mind is somewhere ahead. Thinking, calculating, predicting. What if I fail? What if I choose the wrong career? What if I don't become successful? What if everything falls apart? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who constantly worry about their future. And if this feels relatable, it might feel uncomfortably personal. First, understand this. Future worry is not random. It's psychological. Constant future worrying is not just overthinking. It's actually a survival mechanism. The human brain is designed to predict danger. Thousands of years ago, humans survived because they anticipated threats, wild animals, harsh weather, starvation. The brain learned one rule. If danger can be predicted, it can be controlled. But here's the problem. The brain doesn't know the difference between a lion in the jungle and a job interview next week. To the nervous system, uncertainty feels like danger. So people who constantly worry about the future aren't weak. They simply have a brain that is hyper-focused on safety. The issue is that safety mechanism becomes exhausting. Second, many of them grew up with pressure. Future worriers are rarely careless personalities. Most of them grew up in environments filled with high expectations, strict parenting, financial instability, emotional unpredictability, or constant comparison. When a child repeatedly hears things like, "Focus on the future," "Don't waste time," "Success is everything," or "What will people say?" the brain learns something powerful. Worth depends on future success. And slowly, the present starts feeling less important. The future becomes everything. That's where anxiety begins. Third, they're often highly intelligent. People who worry excessively about the future usually have strong cognitive ability. They can imagine multiple outcomes. They don't just see one possibility, they see 10. If this career is chosen, this might happen. If I move to another city, something could go wrong. If I take this decision, what about 10 years later? The brain keeps running simulations nonstop. The problem is not intelligence. The problem is imagination without emotional regulation. When imagination is guided by fear, it turns into anxiety. Fourth, they crave control. Future worriers struggle deeply with uncertainty. They want clarity, guarantees, and a clear plan for the next 5, 10, even 20 years. But life doesn't provide guarantees. So everything becomes overplanned, over-researched, over-prepared. Backup plans are created for backup plans. Control temporarily reduces anxiety. But here's the irony. The more control is chased, the more anxious the mind becomes. Fifth, identity becomes linked to achievement. For many of these individuals, success is not just a goal. It becomes identity. The thinking pattern becomes, if success is not achieved, worth is lost. This often comes from conditional validation in childhood. Praise came with performance. Validation came with achievement. So the mind constantly asks, I doing enough? Will I be enough in the future? And that question never truly rests. Sixth, enjoying the present becomes difficult. Future-focused minds struggle to relax. Rest feels like falling behind. Enjoyment feels like wasted time. Calmness feels unproductive. Because the brain associates slowing down with risk. If I lose focus, everything could collapse. So even during peaceful moments, the mind drifts toward tomorrow. And this creates chronic stress. Seventh, fear of failure drives them. Future worriers are often driven more by fear than desire. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of regret. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being average. Fear is powerful fuel, but fear creates pressure, not peace. Eighth, the nervous system stays activated. Chronic future worry activates the stress response. The body reacts physically, fast heartbeat, muscle tension, overthinking at night, difficulty sleeping, constant mental fatigue. This is not just excessive thinking. It is a nervous system that rarely switches off. Ninth, they often feel alone with their thoughts. Future worriers usually appear responsible and mature, but internally, they may feel completely alone with their fears. When they express concerns, they often hear, "Relax, stop thinking too much, or everything will be fine." But the anxious mind does not accept fine. It wants certainty, and certainty does not exist. 10th, the deepest fear. At the core of constant future worry lies one powerful fear. What if life doesn't turn out the way I hoped? This fear is about meaning, about identity, about regret, and that fear keeps the mind hyper-alert. But here's something important. There is also hidden strength. These individuals are planners. They are responsible. They think ahead. They avoid impulsive decisions. They care deeply about stability. If balanced properly, this mindset creates leaders. The issue is not future thinking. The issue is fear-based future thinking. So how does healing begin? Psychology suggests something powerful. Anxiety decreases when focus shifts from outcome to action. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" the question becomes, "What action can I take today?" Power exists only in the present moment. Not in 5 years. Not next month. Right now. When uncertainty is accepted. When identity is separated from achievement. When small daily actions become the priority. Anxiety slowly reduces. Because the unknown is no longer being fought. And remember this. Constant future worry does not mean weakness. It means the mind is trying to protect against uncertainty. But protection without balance becomes a prison. The future will always remain uncertain. But uncertainty is not danger. It is possibility. Peace does not come from predicting the future. It comes from trusting your ability to handle it. If this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more deep psychology content. And in the comments, tell me, is your mind usually living in tomorrow or learning to stay in today?